All right, everyone.
Okay, very good. Get that happy look on your face.
Ready?
All right, welcome everyone to our City Council meeting for November 15th. If we have a roll call to establish quorum, please, ma'am.
Tom Buford.
Here.
Terry McClung.
I'm here.
Vicki Schneider.
Here.
Bob Thomas.
Here.
Melissa Greene.
Here.
We have 5.
All right, we stand and recite the Pledge of Allegiance, please.
She's not until the
I
first.
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
With. She doesn't get sworn.
All right, get a motion to approve the agenda.
Early.
Get a second?
Second.
I have, and it's my fault, I should have made a note of this at the last council meeting. I want to add, every year we have a free parking during the month of November for 2 hours on Spring Street. And I forgot to include that at the last council meeting. So I'd like to include that for the resolution so we can have that done for December.
So number 6?
Huh?
Number 6?
Be number 6. Yeah, and it's in your packets. There. And it's my fault for forgetting it and not mentioning it last time. Does anybody else have anything? Hearing nothing, all those in favor of approving the agenda as amended, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Get a motion for the minutes.
So move.
Second.
Any additions, corrections? Hearing none, all those in favor of the minutes as submitted, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, so moved. We still have some vacancies on the Planning Commission. We got 2 positions there. Got a position open on the CAPC. Also, on the cemetery position, we have 1 position vacant, but we also have a vote for Roderick Beattie on there. If I can get a motion.
So move.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay. And I think the application from Judy Holden is for the HDC. No, it's for cemetery?
It's for cemetery.
Oh, okay.
She's presently on the HDC, and she's doing an excellent job on there. So, and she's interested in the Treasury, and I know David Soleil would like to get off of that. So I would like to make a motion to accept her application and move that we put her on.
All right. Can I get
Wait a minute.
Yes, ma'am.
Shouldn't we talk to David first or have him make a comment or turn in a paperwork? I don't know how it works on this.
She's got a paperwork.
No, him. The one whose position she'd be taking.
She's not taking.
She's not taking, but she's expressed an interest, and he's real excited about it.
He's staying on.
Yeah, he's staying on.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought you meant
Yeah.
that, okay.
No.
Okay.
All right. Bob, did you have it?
Oh, I was just going to say, being the treasurer is an elected position. The commission would vote for that.
Well, who's our treasurer now?
David. But
And we know he wants to not be treasurer.
Irrelevant. It means
Yeah.
nothing.
Yeah. All right, we got a motion and a second.
We have a second?
Do we have a second?
Yeah, I'll second it.
All right. Any more discussion? All right, all those in favor of Judy Holden being on the cemetery commission, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Good. Well, that's going to help them out.
Yeah.
Before.
And she's really great, so I'm excited.
All right, public comments. No comment. All right. I'm speechless. New business. We have a Miss Christy Kendrick did submit a letter to Melissa Greene noting that she was going to resign. That is the only notice that I received, but talking to the attorneys, they said that is satisfaction. So what we need is a notice or an announcement from the city council that there is a vacancy.
I'll move that we have a vacancy for position, Ward 3, position 2.
Okay. Got a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All right. Yes, ma'am.
In view of the timing of the year, we're not going to bother to fill it, right?
Well, right now, we're talking about the vacancy. We can-
Right. Well, and that's what I'm saying. We're going to,
More than likely
we never
not.
fill it this
That's
late.
up to the council, but yes.
Okay.
All right, discussion on her,
Well,
Vacancy.
didn't we all get an email?
we're voting on whether or not to accept her vacancy.
Oh, we did.
So, if there's no further discussion, all those in favor of vacating that position, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Next item is ordinance for changing portion of the code on animals. Mr. City Attorney probably has not got anything.
No, not yet ready.
Okay.
So,
I had, next item is setting a date for the 2019 City Council Budget Workshop. I had tried to anticipate the council, instead of saying let's have Kim call everybody up, I wanted to see if we could go ahead and set a date for November the 26th at 4 p.m. for a workshop for a budget. I don't know if that's Mr. Thomas?
I just know that last year, council's preference was not to have it on the same day as the council meeting. Last year, we met on a Tuesday at 3 in the afternoon.
It's up to the council.
This is our last meeting, though, for November.
Wait a minute, just one at a time, please. Vicki?
Okay, traditionally, until recently, we don't normally meet a second time in November or December unless we have really urgent work that we need to be done. Is this something that we have got to do after Thanksgiving and before sometime in December, or could we go ahead and meet like the first week of December?
For the workshop?
Yes.
We can have it whenever y'all want.
Well, what I'm saying is in lieu of having a second meeting in November, can we work on this the first week of December and go back to our usual way of one meeting in November and one meeting in December? Council meeting. The holidays tend to screw everybody up.
Well, that's kind of what we're talking about right now is a budget workshop. So, Mr. Thomas?
I think
I'm sorry.
Is at 4 o'clock? Is that what you said?
Yes.
So that would give us 2 hours preempting the meeting.
Correct.
Meeting
If
is at
we
6.
have a meeting on the
Yeah,
26th.
just hold on.
I'm good with that.
Mr. Thomas?
I was one of the ones that preferred not to do it because what the council talked about last year was the fact that basically wanting to be fresh for both of those meetings. And if they come in and work on the budget for 2 hours, then they've got to deal with the council meeting afterwards, and that's why they wanted it on a different day. So I'll make a motion to have the budget workshop on the first Monday when this building is empty
And I'll second that.
First Monday
in
December 3rd.
in December. Okay.
Okay.
Any further
Time?
thoughts on that?
Time.
Does that look like everybody's schedule all right with that?
What, do you need a time?
I was just, I would like to kind of discuss the time. Any time is fine with me because I'm put loose and fancy free during the day, So, but
You want to do it 4 o'clock?
Yeah.
Monday the 3rd at 4 o'clock. I'm moved to have the budget workshop on that day and time.
And I will second that.
At 4 o'clock, okay. Any further discussion? All those in favor of having the meeting on December 3rd at 4 o'clock for a budget workshop, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, so moved. Yes, ma'am.
Should we segue into having a meeting or not, a second meeting in November?
No, we haven't. I think at this point what we're doing is just following the agenda.
Well, we do have to discuss it, but we didn't think
Right.
to put it on.
Our next item is presentation on water line repairs. Get a motion to discuss?
So moved.
Second. Mr. Allen, I think everybody has a copy of his
Public Works.
notes in your packet.
Yeah, we got it done in October, and of course, that's the summary, the breakdown. We tried to run every large line we had, 42.5 miles of water line. And as you can see, those numbers, they didn't find as many as anticipated. I thought we'd find it, just leaks everywhere. But when we go back and look at some of the size of what we found, those numbers are looking good. So, I mean, it's more than paying for itself, in immediate fashion. So, some of the bigger ones that they'd helped us identify that we had no idea that were running. And I placed in what we're talking on some of the gallons, 1.5 million fewer gallons purchased September. The budget's 13% below, and usually at this time, as you know, 80, we're running really close. It's usually just barely trying to make it. So, but we know for sure we verified $14,200 in savings that we know that this has brought out. So, and we're looking at 19 on the cost of the project. So we've almost paid that back already. So
All right.
so that was better numbers than I thought. But we want to, like we said, when we run through this, get another complete billing period, see where we're at, and then I've threw a few recommendations. We want to come back and we want to keep pushing. We think we can save more water. So, with this money, utilize some of what we're saving to keep moving.
Do they come back and do a follow-up after you've repaired everything that they recommended?
Yeah, the 90 days they contact us, kind of come back. We do a kind of a summary through, and then we get what those numbers are saying and what they recommend we do. And of course they'll want to provide services, and of course. And we're looking at equipment, but of course that'll be up to us to decide what's best. That's.
I mean, that's already included in what we paid.
Right.
They do come back for kind of a follow-up.
Right. Yeah. They state wait 90 days, get a good couple of billing runs, and see what we're doing. So, and of course. Get them fixed, and then we were thinking we might have to hire out and help with some of these leaks, but we were able to hit these bigger ones. But there was 2 or 3 of these were major. We're talking the one leak we're looking at almost 1 million gallons a month, which was pretty tremendous. So,
yeah.
So you can see, but the numbers still, of course, we've slowed down now, so the percentage. Those numbers are smaller when we get into the summer. The percentages look better, but with a 10% drop already in this time, and then we anticipate Carol Boone numbers coming in soon on the next month. We'll be down. So, like I said, we just need to keep at it. And of course, you start fixing sometimes the pressure, and something else is coming. We've had in October, then we got some leaks that just popped up, blew out of the ground, that we're going to have to look at those numbers of how much we lost running till we could get it under control. So that's something that sometimes you can't control, but like we're talking about, if we can try to get ahead of our pressure, and that could solve some of those or stave them off. So it's a never-ending battle, but those numbers kind of were better than I thought they were going to be, so that's good news.
I think one of the leaks that you're talking about that was unanticipated was out there at Dare Run by Terry's house.
That blew the whole top of that pipe out. There's of course, when that drops, a lot of pressure down in that area.
Sure.
And that's something we need maybe to look at, because something will happen there again eventually, and it's happened in the past. So, but we're looking at maybe trying to get more isolation valves to at least keep as many people as we can out of a boil order. But that drained the tank in a matter of hours there. So that was.
Is that an 8-inch line?
Yeah. Yeah, PVC, and it was put in. Basically, the class pipe back in those days weren't really what was needed for that area. With that kind of pressure, you're pushing over 150 psi out there, and that pipe was rated at the best at 150, and so it started out as looked like a pretty good leak, and it was within an hour it blew the whole top of that pipe off. So, and then, of course, everything went good. We got it back in, but it was an inconvenience for quite a few people in that area. So, of course, the worst thing is when you start figuring out what we're paying Carol Boone for that water that we lost. That's what really hurts. So, but some of that maybe we could stop it. Some of these others on the highway and stuff that's laid on rock, there's probably nothing you can do when the ground shifts. So, it's just part of doing business. So. But we want to come back after the first of the year and kind of recommend what we want to do through these guys, and keep moving ahead.
Great. Any questions? I want to go ahead at this point too, and along the same lines. Speaking of water leaks, we met with Northwest Arkansas Economic Development District this week, and since we had finished up our little tunnel project, we're eligible for another CDBG grant money. And one of the projects we're looking at is running a new water line from, I guess, around the train station to the sewer plant, because that's where we've had a lot of leaks and a lot of problems. And so we're looking at possibly up to $1 million grant application to repair that line down there. So again, should help us a lot again with our water system. Plus, being able to get the the community development block grant to help pay for it. So it's even better.
Yeah, that's one of the areas we improved there, but we're still losing water, and whatever that costs, if we would like to try to take some stuff into Spring Street here, and we were losing a lot of water here, South Main, in this downtown area. So just as far as we could push it.
Right.
This question is for the mayor, and that's not affecting the application for the grant for black bass.
No, we're looking for other applications on the grant for black bass. We're digging on that one. So this community development block grant didn't look real positive for that. I can't remember why now. But we're looking at hopefully getting still trying to see if we can get FEMA involved with that. That's still one of my priorities. So, on there.
Yeah, and we're still with the I&I money. We're kind of moving ahead. Before we talked with this and the project at the plant, so we're moving with that. We run RFQ and we're moving ahead with that. And then once that's done, first year, like I said, we want to come back on the water system. And I think some of these projects there at the plant will be good for a while, and there's quite a bit of savings there that we're looking at if we get that implemented. That should help us budget-wise quite a bit at the wastewater plant. So we got that in progress, and that should start in December. And we're trying to get. We've got a lot of concrete repair that we're trying to get started. We've had 3 contractors kind of pull out on us, but we will get that going before. The plan was before cold weather, but I think we still have some good weather, so we're working on that quick as we can.
All right, anybody else? Dwayne, thank you very much.
All right,
Thank you.
it's moving fast tonight.
Be quiet.
What did I do with where's my agenda? I lost my agenda somewhere. All right, our next one is the lottery drawing. And Madam Clerk, I think that's up to you, isn't it?
Okay, we have
Okay, according to the ordinance, this was set up based on the number allowed in certain sectors, and the first listed in the ordinance is Main Street from the junction of Highway 62 to the northern city limit, one property permit for one food trailer, and there was one person applying. So, not much of a draw on that one. It's the Basin Park Hotel. They'd like to have a food truck in the parking lot on Main, below Jackson Street. I think the official address there may be 101 North Main.
Is that like where that that parking lot there?
It would be close to where Colossal Cupcakes are.
Okay, in that general
In
area.
that parking lot, yes.
Okay.
Okay, and in Category B, Center Street from Spring Street to German Alley, one property permit for one food truck or trailer. There was only one entry. And so Travis Holloway at 64 Center Street, the parking lot at the corner of Center and Lower Mountain. And then what's listed as D, Highway 62 and Highway 23 South. In that entire stretch of two highways, there's allowance for two property permits for one food truck or trailer, and there are three. So each of these applicants, of course, has notified us that they want to be in it, and so we need someone to draw. Would you draw one of these, please? Okay, and who do you have?
Get it open here. Da-dum, da-dum.
Where was this at?
All of 62 from the western city limits to the eastern, and Highway 23 South, where it cuts off by what was Comfort Inn. What is it now? By the Land of Nod?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It appears that this says Kim
Yankee?
Yankee and,
Kendra?
Kendra Yankee?
yeah. Well,
Hughes?
Hughes.
Yep.
Thank you.
At 2100 East Van Buren, Hobbies and Homestead.
Righto. And so we have another one, and
Not me.
will you draw one?
Sure. Okay. Dana and Jolene Lyon, 132 Huntsville Road, Center Stage Event Center.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, I'll notify all the folks tomorrow.
All right. So that concludes that?
Yes, sir?
All right. Thank everybody for submitting your applications for the lottery. Our next item is a resolution for the free parking for December. If I can get a motion to...
I move to assign the resolution a number and read it for passage.
Second?
Discussion. All right, hearing none.
I do have a question.
Oh, okay.
So that is just the street meters,
Street meters that we've been doing.
spring,
Right.
that's all for the whole month?
Yeah, just like what we've been doing for
Okay.
Street and lot, right?
however many years we've been doing it.
No, just hang on, hang
No
on.
lots?
Please hang on.
No, no lots, just the streets.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. Bob Thomas,
Yes.
Terry McClung,
Yeah.
Vicki Schneider,
Yes.
Melissa Greene,
Yes.
Tom Buford.
Yes. Yes.
5-0. The resolution number will be... $741. A resolution removing the requirement of paying the parking meters on Spring Street and Main Street and establishing free 2-hour parking from December 1 through December 31, 2018. Whereas the City Council of the City of Eureka Springs, Arkansas, in an effort to promote businesses for the city during the period of December 1 to December 31, 2018, desires to establish free 2-hour parking on Spring Street and Main Street for on-street metered spaces in Eureka Springs during the period of December 1 through December 31, 2018. Now therefore be it resolved by the City Council of Eureka Springs, Arkansas, that Section 1, free 2-hour parking is established on Spring Street and Main Street in metered spaces in Eureka Springs during the period of December 1 to December 31, 2018. All righty.
All right, thank you very much. All right, that concludes our business. There is no unfinished business, or is there?
Well, we've got to talk about the next meeting, if and when.
All right, that's not on the agenda, but we want to... Mr. Thomas?
The only way that could be added to the agenda is if she has a second on it, and it's a 2/3 majority vote to add it to the agenda, which is still 4 people.
I'll second it.
All right, discussion about our next meeting?
Are we having one is the question.
Yes, I know.
We didn't have a vote on it.
We didn't.
We have to have a vote. I was talking about whether or not... All right, all those, let's do a roll call.
First of all, I want to understand, did you make a motion to not have a second meeting?
I will make a motion that we not have the second meeting in view of the timing of the holiday and everything else.
Second meeting in...
In November.
I'd call
I'm sorry.
point of order.
Oh,
She's adding that to the agenda, so the only motion, she can make the request to add that to the agenda, and then we have to
And then we
vote to
discuss
put it
that.
on the agenda.
Okay.
thank you.
Okay, so the original motion to put it on the agenda.
So we got a motion to add it to the agenda.
Got it, thank you. It was roundabout, but I'm finally there. And you were the second?
I was.
Thank you. And so now we need the vote.
Yes.
And you want it to be roll call?
Yeah.
All righty. Ms. Greene?
Yes.
Mr. Thomas?
No.
Ms. Schneider?
This is to add to the agenda. Yes.
Correct.
Yes.
Mr. McClung?
No.
Mr. Buford?
No.
2-3. Fails.
Well, in that case, y'all have a good meeting because you're not going to have a quorum.
All right. All right, that brings us to council comments. Mr. Thomas?
You want to pass up
Wait,
agenda?
agenda setting.
Oh, no, I'm sorry, agenda setting. I'm sorry, I did have that. Okay, pardon me.
Nothing.
Anybody? Ms. Greene?
I know we have the animal ordinance coming up. Can I add something to that, or to a discussion, or do I have to?
What were you trying to get at?
Well, I've had some constituents and things, they just wanted to add into the language of the whole animal stuff about, like, cold weather, keeping...
Why don't you send me the information, I'll forward it on to Tim.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Does anybody else have anything for the agenda? Ms. Greene? Ms. Mickey Snyder?
Well, does this mean that we're going to have a meeting, a second meeting, November 26th, a couple days after Thanksgiving?
Yep.
And you're going to have an empty seat because Christie resigned. You're going to have my empty seat because I will be out of town because it's the holidays. What are you going to do?
We have 4.
Oh, good luck.
We have
Is this
4
an
people, that's
important
an
meeting?
agenda.
Is there something that's so
Mickey-
dire we have to get
Mickey,
it done?
do you want...
Which is the
we're talking-
only time we've ever met
Mickey,
a second
Mickey, do you want to add
No,
something
use
to
your
the
head.
agenda?
Yeah, I want to add to the agenda that we cancel a second November meeting unless it's an emergency. It's ridiculous.
Mr. McClung?
That's fine. That meeting will be on November 26th.
Yeah, we'll add that
We'll
to the...
discuss that.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, have fun, Terry.
All right. Anybody else have anything for the
There was
agenda?
no second on that?
I wasn't going to tell him that.
No, it's... Yeah. All right, Mr. Thomas, you got council comments?
Yeah, I have 2 comments. The first one is with regards to the animal ordinance addition. The city council voted on what changes they wanted to make in that ordinance, and Tim was going to be writing the ordinance based on the vote of the city council. I think it's more appropriate for Ms. Greene to try to amend it at the next meeting rather than somebody arbitrarily adding into it.
Okay?
Okay, thank you.
The other thing is, I appreciate how everybody's been asking for the floor tonight, and if you could just kind of slow down your firsts and seconds and maybe raise your hand and get acknowledged before you make a motion to, before you second and first and second. That would help things too.
Thank you. Ms. Greene?
I want to thank everybody for voting. Whether they voted for me or not, that's not where I'm going. The city had a wonderful turnout, 77%. I want to thank the people that voted for me. I ran against a very honorable opponent that I admire, and I wish him the best of luck. And I'm really excited about the mayor and the council I'm going to be sitting with. So, happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you. Ms. Schneider?
I just wish that maybe with the new council we can finally get back to using some logic. And especially when it comes to somebody like Terry, who's been on as long as longer than I have. There's no reason to sit there and mess around the holiday time. And that's exactly what's happening with this Thanksgiving meeting. There's no reason for it. There isn't anything dire to be done. And I think we really need to sit there and think about that. Because otherwise, we could be having a meeting the day after Christmas. Good luck on that. That's it.
Mr. Bishop?
Comment.
Mr. McLeod? Happy Thanksgiving. All right. I want to also extend thanks to everybody who ran for the political office in the recent election. And I want to thank all the voters that turned out. And, to exercise your right to select your candidate. And I really want to congratulate those who are returning to the council table and those who are newly elected. So we're looking forward to working with you I'm excited for the next 2 years of where we're going. I think we've got a lot of possibilities and a lot of potential of what we're doing. So I'm excited over that. Now, as far as events go, on November 16th through the 18th, we have the Antique Show up at the end of the Ozarks. It's all day and throughout the evening. And then on the 22nd is the Don Gammy Turkey Trot from 8:30 to 11 out at Leatherwood Park. On the 22nd of November, we have the drive-through lights display from 5:30 to 8 p.m. Great passion play. On the 24th, we have the Shop Small Saturday. That's all day on the Downtown Merchants. And on the 24th at Basin Park from 2:30 to 4:30, we have the Mom and Pop music. And at 4:30 in the Basin Park, we will have the Christmas tree lighting on the 24th. So I hope everybody have a happy Thanksgiving. And motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Get a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, guys. And happy Thanksgiving.
Anyway.